Good morning from I-40. I just passed through Asheville. I'm headed to the northern end of the Smokies. I'm going to park at Big Creek this morning, take the Chestnut branch trail over to the Appalachian trail. When I hit the AT, I'm going to head south over Mount Cammerer. Then I'm going to drop down the Low Gap Trail and end my day at campsite 37, where I'm going to spend the night. Then tomorrow morning I'm going to take the Swallow Fork Trail over to Mount Sterling Ridge and cross over Mount Sterling, and then take the Baxter Creek Trail back down into Big Creek. Both days my mileage is just over 11 miles. The clouds are supposed to clear out, and we're going to supposedly have clear weather the next couple of days. This is my first trail of the morning. It's right beside the parking lot, Chestnut Branch, 2 miles up to the AT. I stopped along the creek and took in a liter of water. I'm not sure what the water situation is up on the AT. I haven't looked at the app yet. We just left the creek here on the trail, and switchbacks have started, and we're going up pretty steeply now. Appalachian Trail, headed south. The AT has been a steady uphill, but it hasn't been too bad. It's not all that steep. It's well graded and kind of spread out, so you're not busting your quads. So I've just been taking it easy here, working my way up to Mount Cammerer. I'm at 4,570 feet. Started to see some evergreens. Getting a little bit of that Christmas tree farm smell. Still overcast. Haven't seen any sun yet, but there's always hope. Trail has become a bit of a stairmaster. Okay, I rescind my earlier comment. Now it's a stairmaster. I've only been on the AT a short time, but so far it's been pretty quiet. During this phase of the reopening, the Park Service is not issuing through hiking permits. So they're in order to hike the AT through the park, you have to have a shelter reservation every night. And to get that, you have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 14 days ahead of the first day of your trip. Because they're limiting access, there just aren't that many permits to go around. In fact, this was going to be a 2-night trip for me, but I couldn't get the campsite that I wanted for the second night. I'm on the spur trail that takes you down to the Mount Cammerer fire tower. It's a rock structure. I guess I'm fogged in right now. I may not get any views, but we'll look at the tower regardless. But normally there's pretty good view from that spot. But I'm gonna head down there anyway. I've been on a ridge line here lately and it's been really nice. Been scooting along at a good clip, making up some of the time I spent just kind of lollygagging and shooting video this morning. Haven't had any views though, it's still socked down up here. But we take what we get. This concludes my time on the AT. Time to hook a left and head down the Low Gap Trail. All right, looks like I've reached the campsite. Well, here's the situation at campsite 37 right now. All buggy. I usually just eat protein bars and such for dinner, but this trip I brought chicken and dumplings, so I'm gonna have that now. I'm just heating up my water. Dinner completed. Well, I've got dinner completed, all my camp chores are done, tent is set up and ready to go. I'm just sitting here looking at the river. There are two other groups here tonight, so I'm not going to walk around filming everything, but it's a pretty nice campsite. I did 11.2 today, including the spur trail over to the fire tower. I'm just going to sit here and look at the river till it gets dark and it's time to lay in the tent. Good night from the woods. I'm on trail at 7 a.m. Campsite is more spread out than I really realized last night. There are two more fire rings here by the main trail. It's a pretty big site. Our first task this morning is to climb Swallow Fork Trail up to Mount Sterling Ridge. I had a good night last night. I enjoyed sitting and looking at the river until the sun went down. After I got in my tent and it got really dark, some synchronous fireflies came out. They were around my tent and between my tent and the river. It was really cool. I've seen that one other time over on the Tennessee side. It's really fantastic anytime you get to see that. The trail's just been a gradual uphill. Looks like there's some blue sky trying to poke through. I'm pretty sure that's the mountain I'm climbing. Looks kind of disheartening from way down here. And the evergreens. This is Pretty Hollow Gap, intersection with the Sterling Ridge Trail. We're starting to top out here. Just past the sign saying my next trail, the Baxter Creek Trail, is 0.5. So we need to, I guess we're going to be rounding the summit here at some point soon. We have an obstructed view to the right. At least it's not overcast today, we're not socked in. So there's a tower, a fire tower on top of Mount Sterling. It's pretty busy today. People are up and down it. I did not go up. I'm just trying to stay out of people's faces. It's a real narrow staircase. And still thinking a little bit about not being too close to people I don't know and just staying out of their faces. So it just didn't work out today. It's 3:30 and I'm approaching the trailhead. I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to sign off and say thanks for watching.